rock music, playing the guitar, learning the construction of great songs, answers to your questions. Hi, I'm Brother Bill Fisher. Welcome to the second instructional videotape in the Answers in Your Soul video series. Edwin Nutter from Harrow asks, I'm sure I'm not the first person to ask this, but could you guys do a video on how to play Evil in Your Eye? I'm trying to use this lockdown to learn the electric guitar, and it really is a great song. Joan M. Vega from Miami asks, please do a tutorial on Evil in Your Eye or Black Slug, and please stay safe. The Cosmic Harmony needs the church more than ever. Thanks for this. I hope you're both keeping safe. So we'll do a full rundown of Evil in Your Eye, which is from our first album, Is Satan Real? This track does contain a guitar solo, unlike the previous track, Cold Sweat, which doesn't contain a guitar solo. Let's go. As always, we're tuned to A432 for cosmic resonance. Here's an A. As before, I'm going to be using key names and intervals instead of fret numbers, so you get a better picture of the chord relationships. Just to make this clear, let's say we're in C major. Each note of the scale will be a different interval, so we've got the first or the root, C. Then we've got the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then the root again. This also applies to chords, so let's say we're in A major, we'd have A major is the root chord, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh is the diminished, and then back to root. Stand up to play because the hand position's different. When you're sitting down, you tend to put your finger, the thumb on the back. But when you're standing up, it makes more sense to use the thumb over the top. There's some tempo and feel changes in this one, so look out for those. It's worth noting that there are multiple versions of this song. The album version, which is the longest, the video version, which cuts out verse 3 and chorus 2, and then the live version, which is like the video version, but with some added surprises. I'll try and cover as much as possible from all variations in this videotape. The idea for this song came from playing around on a bass guitar, and it went something like this. So you see it's basically A minor to F with that little run in between, and then it's hitting these high E notes. So that doesn't really work very well on a bass because it's quite dissonant, that seventh. But on guitar it works a bit better. So on the album version, Brother Sam's actually playing this. So then the guitar plays the full chords over the top with the volume rolled down a little to keep it clean. And so on. So for the F, we're actually playing an F major 7 there. So that high E is coming in from that original bass line. So I tend towards using that shape of an F in a lot of the songs actually. I think it probably is an influence from the Roy Harper song, When an Old Cricketer Leaves the Crease. He uses that high E there. So this A minor to F major 7 pattern is the basis for all the variations that we see in the verses. For instance, at the beginning, I just leave a gap so the bass line does the motif. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then later it gets more elaborate as we get into the various solos, second, third verses. More on that later. Brother Michael on Hammond, in the verses he's playing the chords on a... Then of course Sister Amy plays that lovely cello line over the top. So from playing around with that verse riff, I came up with the chorus riff, which is really just a variation. So the bass and cello part would be this. And the guitar is this. So we've got more chords in the first part. A minor, C, G, C, F, major 7. And then that little riff. So it's important to note that the bass and cello and Hammond are all doing what is really the proper riff, which is... But in order for the guitar to get back to that clean, full A minor shape, it's impractical to go. So instead it's going... So it actually kind of harmonizes. If you imagine the bass running underneath, that would be... So the little motif is very similar to the verse, but obviously the difference here is we've gone from swing time to straight time. So the verse, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1. Whereas the chorus is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 probably most obvious in the little riff. So the verse and the chorus. And of course the drums have also gone double time for the chorus. As you've probably noticed, I'm a sucker for those high piano chords being played over a chorus. Other examples would include Foreigner, Cold as Ice, Billy Joel's Miami 2017, An Angry Young Man, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, Randy Newman's I Love LA, Toto, Hold the Line. The list goes on. So wherever there's a chance to stick those babies on a chorus, it's happening. This is an early example of us moving towards that sound, with Brother Michael playing those high 8th note chords through the gaps of the chorus. Emma Hefferon from Tasmania asks, I have externalized evil in your eye by repetitive listening. It's burnt into my soul. How was it written with so many awesome parts and changes? How was it developed in a way that makes me sad and happy? Thanks for this, Emma. The way the songs tend to come together is I'll demo the various parts. Sometimes there'll be score for the keys and cello, but most of the time it's more like a kind of jazz lead sheet sort of arrangement with, say, chords, structure, some of the motifs, some of the feel, drum feel, but there'll be areas for improvisation and the musicians bringing their own spin on things. This one started with just the verse and chorus parts. Let's take a listen to the original demo.
And it's lighting up the room. So you sing another tune, and I remember. I wanna take you to the ocean. I wanna hold you down beneath the waves. I wanna feel the struggle in the water.
Perhaps because the verse and chorus are so similar, it's a little lackluster when they change without anything in between them, especially with that change from swing to straight. So I came up with the pre-chorus section, which appears a number of times in the song, usually played on Hammond with the choral vocals over the top. So that's D minor, C, G, C, G, A minor, D minor, C, G, F, G, and then we're into the chorus for A minor. So in the second demo, you can hear I've added the pre-chorus with some demo vocals.
So you sing another tune that I remember. No one can save you, you're under the spell. No one can save you. No one can touch you and no one can see. No one can save you. I wanna take you to the ocean.
quite right, the verse is too fast, and the chorus is too slow. It's all in fact at 110 BPM. So in the final version, I've mapped out the tempo so the verses are 98, and then it ramps up over the F, G to 118 for the choruses. So the full transition from verse to chorus is something like this. So notice how the first part of the chorus I actually play bar chords. And it's open chords. So in answer to Emma's question about why it feels sad and happy, I think the verse feels sad because it's all bluesy and swingy. Then when the chorus kicks into straight double time, we're into full tilt rock, which I personally would associate with a feeling of happiness. So the original demo was just the verse, pre-chorus, chorus and solo sections. We added the intro later in the practice room. The start of the intro is just the pre-chorus chords, but without the vocals. D minor, C, G, C, G, A minor, D minor, C, G, and then everything kicks in on the F, and then we've got essentially the first part of the chorus looped. So it's a stab on the A minor. Brother Michael keeps those high A minors hammering. So it's G, A minor. And then it'll kick into the first line. I wanna take you to the ocean. Holds the F. In the album version, the second chorus starts with a version of this, but the guitar keeps playing. So it'll go. A little slower. On the extended album version, the second chorus ends with an F, C, D7, G, back to the verse. This is also used at the end of the song, but we hang on the F, so we're going. In the last chorus, rather than actually doing the riff, I'm just playing F to G, so it's